welcome or welcome back. My name is Savannah, and this is my crafty podcast that I do. It has been a while. I haven't filmed I haven't posted, I should say, since Vlogmas before Christmas. I had every intention to do a bunch of, well, not like a bunch of videos, but I had intentions to do of everything I made in 2023 video, I already did my plans for 2024-ish video, but just that week between Christmas and New Year's every single year seems to just kick me in the butt. And I don't know if I've completely pinpointed what it is exactly for myself, but I do think it has to be a combination of it's the end of the year, there's such a big lead up to Christmas every year that once it's done, it's just like, okay, now what? So there's that. My lack of routine that happens during Christmas break, which is weird because summer break, I don't have this same feeling, I guess. I don't know how to explain it best, but in the summertime, summer break, I don't feel this way because, there's obviously a lack of routine then as well. But that Christmas break or winter break there's a lack of routine. Christmas is over, so now what? And then I do think it has to do with the fact that I'm on a time crunch kind of thing, as in, sure, I get this time off from work and the kids get that time off from school, but it's limited. So I think every year it's just like the lead up to Christmas happens, and then I just crash. So I had filmed a little, it was just going to be what was it going to be? Kind of just showing or talking about my stats, which I should have brought up, but I did not. Talking about stats, like things that I did, and then I kind of threw in a little bit of what I knit last year, like 2023, but I didn't like it because I was very, it was very chaotic, as in my just mental stability was not there. I couldn't comprehend. I just felt like I was just rambling, so I decided to scrap it. Decided to just let myself not do everything I knit in 2023 video. Just let myself not do it. So I've been back to work for about 2 weeks now, which has been really great. Back into a routine, which is what I needed. Definitely needed. I thrive on routine. So it is currently Friday, January 12th. We had the day off for the Martin Luther King Jr. holiday. It's a U.S. holiday, I guess. Friday and Monday we'll have off. It is also a very cold weekend for us. We are getting that Arctic blast that Canada and the majority of the upper, well, I'm not even upper, I'm southern US, but we're getting the Arctic blast. So we're getting negative temperature, wind chill temperatures all the way until Tuesday, which is not ideal, but it's okay. And what's funny is it only just makes me think of that movie, The Day After Tomorrow. It's got Jake Gyllenhaal. Is Dennis Quaid in that movie? I don't know. Either way, I know Jake Gyllenhaal is in that. Could I be wrong? Either way, the movie's called The Day After Tomorrow. It's a natural disaster movie about the world freezing over kind of thing. And there's a scene in the movie where the Arctic blast, or whatever they called it, comes down Like this vortex type thing comes down and there's helicopters flying and they immediately freeze, like just freeze out of the air, crash. So I'm just like, every time they say Arctic blast on the news, I'm just like, we're all gonna freeze. Anyways, I'm rambling. Welcome to this, what it is. Also, I don't look the best, but we're doing this today right now because I can and I want to. So if you did watch my Vlogmas back in December, I appreciate it. I did enjoy doing it. It's just, you know, you get kind of burnt out after a while. So I think I did 3 weeks. Excuse me. I did 3 weeks, and that was it. Anyways, we're gonna go ahead and jump into this pile. I think this is everything I finished and have been working on since the end of Vlogmas. Yeah, I think so. I think that's just where we're gonna go. Yeah. But if I can rattle off the top of my head, I will give you the stats for last year. Yeah, sorry. I am not good at these. This is what you get. I am definitely scatterbrained. So for 2023, I believe I knit 31 items. I think I finished 31. Oh, goodness. I apologize. 31 items. Out of that 31, 20 or 21 of those items were garments, sweaters. I had a couple hats, just a handful of socks, 1 shawl and 1 skirt. Sorry. Yeah. Trying to think. I know I'd broken it down further than that, but because I don't have it in front of me, I can't remember. But yeah, I did 31 items. I can't remember what I set my goal for this year. I think I just set it at 30, to be honest. If not, no, I think maybe it was 25. You know, I'm getting kind of confused with my Goodreads challenge as well. It's somewhere in the 25 to 30 range. I figured if I can get 24 at least, I will be happy. I'm also going to try not to like just crank stuff out. I don't feel like I tried to crank things out last year. It just happened. So we'll see. Yeah. Oh my God. I apologize for all the yawns. I don't understand. Also, in the video that I never posted, I talked about my stash, just overview of my stash. So at the beginning of 2023, I pulled all my yarn down I just pulled all my yarn, laid it out on the floor, and counted it. Last year, I counted 250 things of yarn. So that included, you know, like 100-gram skeins, 50-gram skeins, sock sets, cones of yarn. Those all got counted. I did not count minis. I did not count undyed yarn. I did not count my hand spun. And then I did not count like scrap yarn. What else did I not count? I have like some cottons put away in a different area. I did not count those as well. So my main stash is 250 skeins. And then I have a spreadsheet that I would mark, you know, when something came out, when I brought something in, and then if I sold or donated. You know, I had formulas, I had it all whatnot. I was tracking. I know April was my worst month for purchases. I think I purchased somewhere around gosh, was it 26 or 40 something? I think it was 42 skeins of yarn in April. Either way, April was my worst month. I couldn't tell you my best month for using yarn. I don't remember that off the top of my head. Anyways, so I tracked it all. It wasn't until April that I was actually making notes saying what was or where yarn was going and what yarn was coming in to help me better track. But somewhere along the line, I happened to notice a discrepancy when I was counting at the beginning of this year. So according to that spreadsheet, I should have ended the year with about 219 skeins of yarn. Didn't use a lot, but that's because a lot of the yarn that I ended up using this past year was yarn that was not initially counted. So they didn't get counted towards the, the deduction of using it kind of thing, unfortunately. Some of that yarn had been sold / donated as well, but either way, when I recounted at the beginning of this year, when I recounted at the beginning of this year, there was a discrepancy. I figured I'd have around 219-ish. I ended up having 240 skeins of yarn. Now I know where some of these numbers, I know where they came from. When I finished knitting my folly skirt, I actually had quite a bit of yarn left over that I was, I accidentally overbought yarn for that skirt. So at the beginning of 2023, none of that yarn had been counted in because it was already being used in that project. So I did count what was left over back into stash for 2024. So there was some. That was about 11 skeins there. Yeah, that was a lot. There was another project that I actually ripped out. I had ripped out a cardigan and re-caked all the yarn, and I actually counted that back towards stash for 2024. So there was another 5 skeins there. There's still a gap where I have no clue what happened, but we are starting over for this year. So I have a new spreadsheet. I have the months listed. Maybe I'll throw in a picture. I don't know. We'll see. I have the months. I have yarn used in projects, yarns brought into stash, like purchased or whatnot, and then sold, donated section, and then totals. I'm also trying to figure out my best way to actually make note on, because I think it is better to have like some kind of note-taking system so that you know exactly what was used, what was brought in, kind of thing, to help. Because I know sometimes I forget, like I'll grab a skein off the shelf and I'll forget to mark it down. So I'm actually kind of tracking it 2 ways. So I have my little notebook here. So I have a spreadsheet on my computer that I'm updating, and then I'm also doing it in here for each month in hopes that this helps. I just want to know how much yarn I use in a particular year. I'm not too upset with my stash because I reorganized it and it actually looks really well. It doesn't look like a total chaotic mess. I'm just curious of how much I can actually use in a year. So right here, I don't know how well you can see this. I have just yarn in January out and in. So, yep. So I'm tracking it here as well as on the spreadsheet, kind of like as a fallback plan. I'm also deciding to track my budget and how much I actually spend on my craft. Right now, I'm only tracking patterns and yarn. Not anything else like accessories, if and when, I guess. Maybe if I do buy any more accessories, I'll track that. Like, and I'm saying like needles, stitch markers, or progress keepers. if I need to buy anything like that, then maybe I'll mark it in. But for right now, just patterns and yarn. So I've bought 2 patterns. I've purchased 2 patterns so far this year, and I've only purchased 3 things of yarn this year. So again, just trying my best. Oh, also, see, I purchased a crochet book, and I'm still debating if I should put it in here. I mean, it's patterns, right? I actually purchased 2 books. That probably should go in here at some point. Maybe. Either way, I just want to see how much I'm actually spending in a year. Anyways, so that's been a couple of minutes of that. That's where I'm at with kind of like just what I want to track for 2024. Okay, let's go ahead now and dive into finishes. So finishes since Vlogmas, so before Christmas. I have 3 that I am aware of. I finished my, what is this one? The Stockholm hat by Petite Knit. I really like this hat. My hair's up, so you're not gonna get the full effect. It doesn't look like this normally. It's a good hat. I use Sanaskarn Sunday and Tin Silk Mohair, also by Sanaskarn. So it's 2 strands of the Sunday and 1 strand of the Tin Silk Mohair, and it's a 1x1 ribbing. What should I say about this? It's a nice hat. It's perfect. This is the 2nd hat I've ever made with mohair in it, and it's definitely better than my first. My first hat was really, really itchy on my head, and I think that was because the hat was way too tight, like give you a headache, way too tight. This one is on the looser side, so it's actually really comfortable having the mohair right there, so I don't mind it. I don't remember what kind of mohair it was that I used. Oh, it was somebody's hand-dyed mohair that right? Or was it Emma's yarn? I don't remember. Either way, I don't know if it was an itchier mohair, but this one's really nice. So I don't know exactly how many days it took me to knit this thing, but I like it. The color is, I don't remember exactly, maybe wine red or whatnot. I do have one small issue with my, I think these are decreases. For some reason on one side they ended up a bit gappy. See, and on this side as well. But I don't mind it. So I wear this one pretty well, or pretty often. So again, first time using Sanaskarn, which was really, really nice. And I actually did a tubular cast on, which I hate doing, but I figured I might as well do it since I'm hoping to actually love this hat, and I do, so it was worth it. So first finished object, in no particular order. Another finished object is, this is the, oh gosh, what is it called? Oh, the Slow Down Sweater by Lily K. France. I finished this. It's covered in hair because it's a black yarn. I used Drops Alaska in the black colorway. And then for the neckband and the cuffs, I used Drops Kid Silk in the black colorway. You're actually supposed to put the mohair at the bottom of the ribbing, you know, the hem ribbing as well, but I did not want to, so I didn't. This is a really, really nice sweater. So it is a drop shoulder construction, but you're actually still doing some short rows on the sleeve. So there is a little bit of shaping there. It's not a full set-in sleeve. It is definitely a drop shoulder. It's oversized If I have a photo, I'll pop it in because I'm not going to try it on now. This thing fits really, really well. And it's really comfortable and I really like it. So this is the second finished item that I've made using Lily Kate's patterns. Both fit really well. The only issue with the first one is it's too short, and that's a me problem, not a pattern problem. It was a me problem. This one fits perfect. So that makes me really excited to possibly knit more of her patterns. I know I do have at least one more pattern of hers in my stash, so there's that potential, but it's really, really nice. The Drops Alaska is a worsted or an Aran weight. So this is a very heavy sweater, but again, it is really cozy. I thoroughly enjoy this. And then last finish, this one was my last finish of the year, 2023. This is the, I love how I'm forgetting names. This is the Leith cardigan by Rebecca Clow of the Crayabea. I finished it. So as soon as I was done with the black sweater, I actually just went ahead and focused on getting this one finished. So I was actually like right in this area. I think I had done like 3 or 4, I think 3 stripes. And I went ahead and just finished this. I was a little worried. It's a bottom up cardigan, so I was worried about length and all that stuff. I kept looking at other people's pattern pages and trying to count their stripes, because the pattern, I'll be honest, the pattern is a little lackluster for instructions. It's kind of like more of a recipe, in my opinion. She doesn't tell you how many rows to do per stripe. Granted, it is a knit it however you want. You can make your stripes as thin or as thick as you want, kind of thing, because it's an intarsia, your type sweater, as in you're alternating your stripes. I mean, you don't have to do that. It's just, I feel like it's more of a recipe than it is a pattern. So either way, I was a little bit nervous, but it fits fantastic. I'm super happy about that. What else can I say about it? I'll tell you about the yarn in just a minute. The button band, it's a double knit button band. Per the instructions, you're actually supposed to knit it separately and then sew it on. But that made me a little nervous due to past experience doing that. So I looked through other people's pattern pages, project pages, I should say, and some people actually used a tutorial by Veronica Lindberg, Kutavakika. Her Darling cardigan has a double knit button band, and in her video tutorial she shows how to attach while you're knitting, and so I followed that. I did omit buttonholes because I just didn't want to fuss with that. I got this button band done in one day. We had a snow day last week. Wait, what did I finish? No, it wasn't my last finish of 2023. I just finished it last Monday, actually. Yeah, this past Monday. So we're at Friday, just past Monday I finished this. So first finish of 2023 or 2024. It's my first finish of 2024. I wanted to get the button band finished on our snow day, so I decided to just omit the buttonholes, which Veronica says she did in one of her Darling cardigan versions. She put snaps. The light. So I went out today and actually got some snaps. So I wore this to work the other day, and I just wore it open and it was totally fine, but I'm going to add snaps. And if I don't like it just like that, I'll put faux buttons on it as well and just keep using the snaps. But yeah, so the yarn that I used is all Drops, Drops yarn. We use Drops Lima held together with Drops Kid Silk in the colorway 100, which is their off-white color. And then my alternating stripe is this Drops Alpaca Boucle, also in the 100 color, off-white. A lot of people have been doing this, so I liked it and I wanted to do it as well. The boucle is my first time using it. While it is not the funnest to knit with, I do want a whole sweater in it. You have to be careful because you're not going to be able to tell when you drop stitches, which I think on one of the sleeves, I wore it over a black turtleneck and you could tell where I had actually dropped a stitch, and it looks like I had caught it on the next round. So there's kind of a little gap. I'm trying to figure out, it is on this side. I think, is it this right here? This one right here. I don't know how well you're gonna be able to see that. I don't know. Either way, you can tell when I'm wearing it over a black shirt that there is a little gap right there. But other than that, I don't know what else to say about this cardigan. It's really nice. I'm very happy with how it turned out. Again, it's the perfect length, which I'm grateful for. It fits well, it's cozy. I just have to add those snaps and it'll be 120% finished. So yeah, again, this is the Leith cardigan. Leith cardigan. So those are my finishes that I have so far. Let's see here. We'll go into a lingering whip that I have, and then I'll show you my new things. Lingering whip is the storm sweater. I'm actually trying to focus on this as much as I can for January. I would like to get this finished. I started this in the fall, so I can't remember if it was October or November. But this is where I'm at. So yeah, I'm just on one of the motifs. I gotta finish this. I'm actually on this motif. Finish this one up, and then I have this one, and that's where the chart ends. So I'll have to measure from there and see if I need to add, because it looks like when I looked at Petite Knit's sample on her pattern, it looks like she actually added one more motif after that. So we will see. Yeah, it's really just slow going. I haven't like worked on this a lot, just like 2 or 3 rows every 2 or 3 days, not a whole heck of a lot. I'm using Lion Brand's Fisherman's Wool in the oatmeal colorway. It's 100% wool. You get 465 yards per 227 grams. Bought this at Joann's. This is the second skein that had so this is 1 plus this, and then I have 1 more skein. I'm hoping that is enough. According to the yardage on the pattern, it's not, but we will see. I have a feeling it's enough, but you never know. There's not much else to really say about that one. I'm just hoping to get it finished so that I can wear it as a nice cozy pullover. What else? I don't know. I don't think anything else I have here I have shown at all. So we'll go ahead and just jump right in. So this project I have here was started in 2023. Just kind of like on a whim. I don't think I ever showed anything of it. So I'll just show you real quick now. So my daughter, I bought this yarn for my daughter. Okay, I'll show you the yarn first. I bought this yarn for my daughter from Bumblebee Acres Farm when they did their Zodiac collection. My daughter is a Sagittarius, so this is the Sagittarius color. Again, Bumblebee Acres Farm. I believe yeah, good. This is their croquette, I guess, sock base, which is 75% superwash Corriedale wool, 25% nylon. And again, this is the Sagittarius colorway. It's the astrology collection. I want to say astrological. No, astrology collection. So I bought this for her, and I had planned to make her a pair of socks, but I was like, I don't really want to knit socks. I honestly am not interested in knitting any socks. I burnt myself out 2 years ago, but either way. So I was like, oh, well, how about I make her a pair of leg warmers? That should be easier. So I started one day, just randomly started. I was waiting and I needed something to do, so I just cast this on. So this is what it looks like. So the other day, her and I were talking, and she decided that she would more prefer wrist warmers. Well, this will still work as a mini leg warmer. She'll probably wear them more as a wrist warmer. So I got one finished yesterday. First one finished yesterday. So this is where I cast on. This is what I don't like, my cast off. It's very wavy. I did a stretchier bind off, and I don't know if that was a good idea. It's where you knit one, knit the next one, and then you knit those two together through the front back loop kind of thing. Doesn't look as nice as that side, but it is finished. And I actually got the ribbing finished for the number 2 yesterday. I figured get the ribbing finished, get to just stockinette, and then you are good to go, because I keep this in my purse, so that's easy. And I can take it to work if I need something to do. I know I'm gonna have a lot of yarn left over though. I was hoping to make these longer, but it's a boring knit. I'm not gonna lie, it's boring. So, and I don't find myself needing to grab my purse project all that often. So these would have taken a lot longer if I would have made them super long. So yeah, I'm not following any pattern at all. I'm just using my knowledge of sock knitting, except I decided to use a US 3 or 3.25 needle. I'm magic looping, but I did, 60 stitch cast on 2x2 ribbing. Just figured, since they were going to be leg warmers, it would be okay to be a little bit wider or, bigger gauge than a pair of socks. But they do work as hand warmers as well, or wrist warmers. So yeah, that is that one. Again, I believe I started it. Yeah, I started this way before Christmas. I just haven't shown anybody. This one I also believe I started before the new year. But I can't remember because I don't have anything here to tell you. It's all in my Ravelry if you want to check. This is the Traveler Shawl by Andrea Mowry. I follow Lena of Another Knitting Podcast here on YouTube. She is also living here in Colorado. I find her absolutely wonderful. I really like her. It was funny. I thoroughly enjoyed her Vlogmas. And she was talking about it was funny too because so I thoroughly enjoyed her Vlogmas, and so and due to Vlogmas schedules, she was usually posting in the evening, and I would always be watching her videos when my husband would come home from work, and he'd be like, "You're watching her again?" It was great. Either way, she talked in length about her wanting to knit this shawl as well, and it ended up sparking a little bit of a flame for me to do it. So I suggested to her that maybe we could have our own little knit along, super chill, just kind of start it together. We don't have to finish it together. There was no obligation to either of us about this. So we did that. I'm using some hand spun that I did in July. I feel like I've already talked about this, so maybe I did. And if I did, I apologize. This is my hand spun from July. It was Wool Gatherings, Fiber of the Month Club. Now, what was I think it's Polworth you know, I have it listed in my Ravelry what the fiber content of this is. I believe one of them is a Polworth and the other is a Merino, but I could be wrong. This is pretty like rainbow. One of the braids of fiber was a rainbow braid, like a rainbow fade back and forth kind of thing, like, and then the other one was just blues and greens. So I did a combo spin, and this is what you get. I don't think this is enough yardage, but I'm not too worried about it. And here I don't have a lot of progress, but this is what we have. So you can see this rainbow fade. It's very lovely. So yeah, obviously the rose kit is so long. So, oh hey, orangey. What am I knitting this on? A US 6 or a 4mm. And my yarn is about a fingering weight, so I don't mind. Whatever size this comes out to be is what it's going to be. This type of shawl is not this will be actually the top right here. I think it's going to be this way. I could be wrong, but I think it'll be this way. And then you're going to add more to go this way. But this typical shape of shawl is not my favorite. I have another one by Andrea Mowry. I wish I could remember the name. But it's like the point is off center. It's not A-line. It's not asymmetrical. It's not asymmetrical where you start at a tiny little bit and it works in, you know, to the widest point. It's not like that. It's just, it's kind of, it is a triangle, but your point, it curves off to the side. Not my favorite, but I don't mind wearing it over my shoulders, like, you know, old granny style, over the shoulders. I don't mind wearing them like that in the house. So at least what it's doing for me is actually putting this into a project. I did all the work to spin it. I'd like to knit it up. So that is what is happening here. Again, the Traveler Shawl by Andrea Mowry. And yeah, it'll get done at some point. I've noticed that this year has been kind of the year of shawls so far, just in the fact that I actually have that one. I have another one right here I'm about to show you, and I have like 3 more planned for the year. So maybe 4, because Fiber Tales is about to release one that was absolutely gorgeous. But I'm going to knit a different one first just to see, because it might be the same shape. So I might not need it. But either way, it was beautiful. So that's a lot of shawls. I'm not the biggest shawl wearer. I do like having them for when I am cold and just throwing them over my shoulders. But yeah. Anyways, let's go ahead and show you. Let me show you my New Year's Eve new start. So I started this on New Year's Eve. It was definitely in plans since early November. I have not worked on it since New Year's Eve, but that's okay because this one's very involved, and so I think I want to get the storm sweater done maybe. I've also noticed, so for 2024, it is looking like it's the year of shawls, or at least maybe, but it's also the year of texture for me. I'm doing a lot of textured patterns, so I don't want to do too many textured things all at one time. But I also don't want to start anything new right now, so it is either way. So this one has not been loved since New Year's Eve. And it'll get touched at some point. I figured this one's going to take a while because it is so involved. But it is the Clearview cardigan by Sasha Knits. And it was featured, well, the way I learned of it was from Woolfolk. It's an absolutely beautiful cardigan, all over textured cardigan. So here is the back yoke that I have. So you have a waffle stitch in the middle, and it's framed by several different cables. It is very involved. So it's definitely not beginner. It is charted. It was a little confusing because unfortunately the chart is split like right here. So I have to use 2 different pages, and I was hoping to, you know, do what I do and follow everything. I have my patterns on my iPad. I prefer not to print anymore. This one I had to print because I was constantly flipping between 2 pages for the graph for the chart since it's separated. And then I was a little, the explanation for some of the stuff was on like a page, like 5 pages up. So I was like, oh, I can't do this. So I printed the chart. I'm still using I printed the chart. And I'll probably also use the digital pattern to verify what some of the symbols mean. Either way, very involved. Very, very, very involved. I figured, yes, I know what it is. I'm going to finish this other project before I go back to this because the other project was using waffle stitch as well, but a different type of waffle stitch. And so I didn't want to confuse myself between the two. I'm going to have to really get back in and focus to remember how to do what I'm doing here. So yeah, that's what it was. I want to finish this other piece so I can focus. Okay. I've already made one modification to this, and that was the increases. The increases for this was a left and right lifted increase. I'm not very familiar with those increases, but you're increasing on every side, right side and wrong side, I believe. I could be wrong, but I believe. And it was really difficult to do those increases the way that this was working up. So I switched out those increases for just a regular make one left, make one right. And then you're making left one on the purl side as well. So yes, you were stacking increases kind of on top of each other, not directly, but it was enough to where it was a little difficult. It was hard for me to see where I needed to do these lifted increases. So I just switched them to make one, and it worked. It's working out way better for myself. Okay, so yarn is Purl Soho's Good Wool, which is 100% Peruvian wool or Highland wool. This is the colorway Mustard. Oh man, I know it's not Haystack because that's the other yellow I have. It's Mustard something? Not Mustard Seed. Maybe it is, but I don't think so. I wish I could tell you. I'm so sorry. It's Mustard something. So yeah, I'm making myself a yellow cardigan. Yeah, not much. All right. Thank you for listening to that ramble. Here's the yarn in its beautiful glory. It's a sport weight yarn, which this pattern called for a sport weight of Woolfolk. You know, Woolfolk's sport weight. I can't afford that yarn, so I got this yarn on sale for like Black Friday sale. Yeah. Okay, let me go ahead and show you the other shawl. This was my New Year's new start because the designer is having currently a knit along for it, so I wanted to join in. It was a spur of the moment, last minute decision to cast this on. So yeah. This is the artist shawl. I'm sure you've heard of it if you watch any of the bigger knitting podcasts by Natasha Hornby. That's who it's by. She's the one and it's on Ravelry. Her knit along is on Ravelry. So my yarns actually come from an old project that I had 2 years ago. 2 years ago, I knit the Straya cardigan by Andrea Mowry, and I hate knitted that thing. I did not enjoy knitting it at all, and it turned out too small, so I never wore it. So I was kind of like bummed about it. The yarn is really beautiful yarn. I didn't want it to go to waste, so I decided to rip out that sweater. If you follow me on Instagram, you probably saw a little bit of that. I ripped out the entire cardigan. It was a half fisherman's rib striped cardigan. Ripped it all out. So the fiber or the yarn that I'm using is ampersand fibers in the Caslon fingering weight or fingering base. This is my main color. I do not know the names of these colors. I apologize. They're on my Ravelry project page, so you can check them out there, but I won't be able to tell you the names here. So this is a green, and I believe this yarn, ooh, what is this yarn? It is not a merino. Is it Rambouillet? I forget as well. I don't have any of the tags, so. But it's not a merino, and it's not superwash. This is my main color, and then there's 4 contrasting colors. I have this one, this pink. I believe this one's called Pompadour. There's also levels to these colors. This is La Mercerie's in-house brand, I believe, ampersand fibers. I won all this yarn in a knit along a couple years ago. This is a white color. I don't know the name of this one. Sorry. So that's contrast 1 and 2, and then 3 and 4. This one, beautiful ochre colorway. I believe this is called ochre. And then I have a light blue. So yeah, hold these all up. Whoop. So these are the contrast colors with the green. Lovely, right? Right. I like them. And let me get these back in here, because I'm not using those 3 colors. So in my mind, I'm halfway done with this shawl already. I don't know exactly if I am, but according to the design, like if you break up the design a certain way, I'm halfway done, which is awesome, because it's getting really difficult. Not necessarily difficult, just it's tedious. Here's where I'm at. So this is waffle stitch. Like I was saying earlier, this is a different way to do the waffle stitch compared to the cardigan, so I didn't want to do both things at the same time. Waffle stitch, and then you have stranded color work, so on and so forth. And then I'm going to flip it over. I am on the mosaic knitting portion of the pattern. Very lovely. About not even halfway through the first chart. It is still going. Obviously it's mosaic knitting. You're doing every row twice kind of thing. It took me a minute. I've done mosaic knitting before, but it took me a minute to understand her chart. It's not difficult, but it just took me a minute. I do feel like it doesn't take as long as knitting this section, because you're slipping like half the stitches at a time. So I feel like it doesn't go as slow as it could. So yeah, I don't know what else to say. I did accidentally, you're supposed to switch your needle sizes for these sections. I forgot to switch it here. I don't think it looks that different. And the first like 2 rows of the mosaic knitting, I was supposed to switch needle sizes, forgot then too, but instead of ripping it out, I just switched after those two. And I think it's okay. I don't see any issues. So yeah, and this is, I know I haven't said every needle size. This is a US 5. So 3.75 millimeter. Yeah. This one's starting to hurt my hands a little bit with the mosaic knitting. I don't know why. So I'm trying to take it a little bit easy now. This is going to be lovely and cozy. And the yarn will actually get to be used. Since I will like use this. Okay. So yeah. Oh, I think I have one, technically two other whips that I've been working on. This one, and the other one are like brand new starts, like within a couple of days. I wanted to make another hat. I always seem to make hats at the beginning of the year, but that's because it's cold. I need new hats all the time. So I really wanted the red hat, which I did. And I really wanted a hot pink hat, which I had yarn for. So I was like, okay. And I just kept putting it off. And I'm like, no, I need to just get it started. So I have A, easy knitting, and B, I can actually wear it within this season. So I went ahead and cast on the Oslo hat by Petite Knit. I'm hoping it was the right choice. I didn't really want to do another Stockholm hat. So we're just going with it. This is the Oslo hat. It's an all over stockinette hat with a folded brim. And I'm using this yarn. Look at this. So pretty. This is Madeline Tosh. Let's see here. Madeline Tosh Work Sock Sport. So it's a sport weight sock yarn, 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon. This is the Mars in retrograde colorway. I've had this in my stash for 2 years come February. I had initially planned to make a pair of socks with this yarn, but I just didn't, again, I haven't wanted to knit socks at all. I mean, I want to, but I don't want to. So this was just sitting there, and then I was like I said, I wanted a hot pink hat, and I was like, you know what? This would be perfect. It's so pretty. It's so pretty. So yeah, I cast it on. I thought there was more hot pink in it, but really you're only getting those spots. The rest of it is the red color, which I don't hate, but I really thought there was going to be more pink than red. The way that it looked in the skein looked like way more pink than red, but I'm still happy with it. Again, I'm just hoping that this looks good as a stockinette hat. I'm curious how this would have looked in a 1x1 ribbed hat. Again, I just didn't want to knit another 1x1 rib. So again, so this hat, I believe I think it's a double fold brim, which ends up making it 3 layers, I think, and you knit it down so it can't unfold. I think, I'm not sure. I'm just following the instructions as I go. I have to knit like 7 inches. I'm at 3 right now, so it's not too bad, but I need to do about 7 inches before I do the next step. Knitting this on US 4, 3.5 millimeter. This is my plain stockinette. Yeah, this is my only plain stockinette knit right now that I'm currently working on. I think it's my only one. And so it's nice to have something easy to work on. So yeah, that's all I can say about that. I'm just excited to have this. I have a jacket that's red and pink plaid that this will go great with. I have a pair of pink overalls that'll go really well with. It'll go great with the white cardigan I just finished for like, if I got all the Valentine's Day things ready to go. I think I would love to have like a cream and red cardigan, but I would want the red to be little hearts. But I don't want to do that much like work. But that'd be really cute. All right, last whip, and this one I just started today, and it will probably be finished in the next day or two. We stopped at Joann's this morning because, like I said, I needed these snaps. I also got some barrette clip type things so I can make my December bows. And I, you know, can't not look at the yarn while you're at Joann's, so I stopped and I was like, you know what? I would like to make some face scrubbies. My daughter's really into skincare right now, and I've been trying to take a little bit better care of this. So I was like, well, let's get some cotton and I will make up some face scrubbies real quick, and they are quick. So I got some sugar and cream yarn, 100% cotton. I forgot what colorway this is. But it's really pretty. I don't know how well.
Mom,
what, honey?
her mom's leaving.
Oh, okay. Is it 3 o'clock?
It's
Almost 3 o'clock.
But her mom,
Is here?
she has red line, and her grandma's gonna come pick her up.
Okay, that's fine. So I got this. I've never used it before. It's not the best feeling, but for this type of project, it's great. And so I've made 2 so far. They're crocheted. This was the first one. It's like a puff stitch. It's a free pattern I found just by Googling crochet face scrubbies. There's a lot of paid for patterns, and then there's a lot of free options as well. So this is one of the free ones. So yeah, first one, and then the second one. Second one is smaller. Same hook size, which I believe I used a hook. It's a 5mm hook. Obviously, your first one's well, I shouldn't say obviously. For me, I know when I crochet, my first never turns out the best. Never does. Second one always turns out way better. So we'll see what number 3 looks like. Hopefully the same as number 2. Not that it matters. But yeah, just face scrubbies. Definitely for when I want to take off my like mascara and stuff like that would be great. And then you just pop them in the wash kind of thing. So I'm going to make as many as I can out of this so that we have them on hand. But yeah, it's a spur of the moment. Little cast on. It'll be great. So when I'm done with this, while I'm editing the video, I will be working on that. Okay, that is everything I have here. That is everything I have to show you, and it looks like I've been filming for a whole hour now. I apologize for that. I'm not good at keeping things concise. Yeah. All right. So for the foreseeable future, I am thinking I'm going to do bi-monthly videos. I know back in November I did a vlog, a month-long vlog, and I thought that I would do like monthly updates. I don't think I want to do that. And then obviously December happened, so Vlogmas, and then I ended up doing just weekly vlogs. Don't think I want to do vlogs. I don't mind it. It's just a lot of work when it comes to editing. So I think maybe bi-monthly, right? Am I using that term correctly? Twice a month, bi-monthly. Like little catch-up videos, you know, just show you what I've been working on, any finishes, anything like that. That's what we're gonna try. And I'm also gonna try to throw in like updates on my tracking, probably at the end of the month type of thing. That way, you know, it's the whole month. Yeah, maybe if I am organized enough, I can do that. But that's what I got. Oh, this is gonna be fun putting it all back. Yeah. So I'm gonna go ahead and let you go, and I will talk to you next time. Bye.